Actually, Georgia joined Bologna process in 2005, like most of other Eastern Partnership countries. And we started a big journey, a big odyssey, I would say. A big odyssey of changes, developments, amendments, improvements and modernization. When we started implementation of Bologna process, we didn't have any information. We just knew that Bologna is a very nice, it's a beautiful city in Italy and nothing else. And we started learning, and we started learning, it was still learning, but we had very good teachers, our European partners from different European countries, and of course European Commission and different European projects. Very often we say that Bologna process has been implemented in Georgia through Tempus and Erasmus Mundus, and then it continued through Erasmus+. And it's true. Because we made all structural or conceptual or legislative changes in the framework of different European projects like Tempus or now Erasmus+ capacity building. And also we had a great project which started in 2009. It was called Higher Education Reform Experts, so-called HERES, and it was a very good timing. The people which were dealing with Bologna process became members of HERES team, and some other people, some young motivated people joined us, and we continued implementation of Bologna process and modernization of our higher education area with the help of this program, HERES team. If you compare the higher education system of Georgia today with the universities and higher education system we had it 12 years ago, it's a huge difference. Now the infrastructure is much better, and the quality of higher education has been raised after implementing internal and external quality assurance processes and mechanisms. We introduced accreditation, authorization processes. Our diplomas are recognized much easier, much better than before. The trust toward Georgian universities has been raised all over Europe and also beyond Europe. We have great numbers of student and staff mobility, and we are very proud that Georgia is among the 8 best performing countries with the degree and credit mobility scholarships after such big countries like Russia or China or Ukraine. And I do believe that the reforms which we started because of Bologna process and some right policy and also quite good implementation of the policy supported us to raise the quality and to raise trust toward us. When we started implementation of Bologna process, it was a very famous article by a Georgian politician, and the article was called "Death in Bologna." And it was a complaint that, okay, implementation of Bologna process will be death in Bologna. And now, after 12 years of implementation of Bologna process, we think that, yes, he was right. Implementation of Bologna process was really death, but it was a death of old-fashioned, conservative, post-Soviet system. And Bologna process and European higher education area gave birth to the new system, which is not perfect, but it's much better, with higher quality, with more visibility, with better results, with more successful staff, with more happy students. The big number of our students have a possibility and unique chance to go for studies abroad in best European universities. And this is something we couldn't dream of it when I was a student, not too many years ago. And they have a possibility to use the infrastructure, facilities, the intellectual potential, not only of Georgian universities, but European ones. They have possibility for multicultural communication with the representatives of many, many nations all over the world. And I do believe that these exchange programs and student and staff mobility programs really help us to support not only higher education development, but also to get people closer to each other, which may contribute to more peaceful Europe and to more peaceful neighborhood of Europe. In 2015, Georgia signed the agreement on associate membership with the EU, and it's not coincidence that reforms and modernization of higher education area and also research area is one of the top priorities. And we do believe that we do hope that with the help of European Commission, with the different European projects like Erasmus Plus and its sub-project like Sphere and collaboration with the European University Association will help us to fulfill all requirements of this associate membership in education and research.